It's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where you are in the world. I'm here on mainland Spain in Europe, and it is 7 minutes past 10 in the morning. And what I'm going to talk about today is this case that's sort of consuming all of us at the moment, and it seems to be increasing in attention all over the world, which is this case of Jay Slater, who has gone missing while on holiday, while walking home. He's a 19-year-old boy. Let's have a look at a picture of him. He's a 19-year-old boy or man, whichever way you want to look at it. In a case reminiscent of Riley Strain, isn't it? You know, for those of you who have been with me covering the case of Riley Strain, who was another young boy who got into difficulties, because we can assume that Jay is in difficulties. We hope that it doesn't have the same conclusion as it had with Riley's case. But of course, we were following Riley Strain's case right over in America, in Tennessee. A young boy, after a night out, well, a day out really, too much to drink, got, you know, it's likely that he got into that he fell into the river because he was so drunk, and he unfortunately drowned. So the similarities with this case are of the fact of a young person being out and about with their friends, probably having a great time, had much to drink, maybe too many drugs, who knows, set off to walk home, and maybe took a wrong turning, or I don't know, could have fallen victim to foul play. I mean, we just don't know until Jay's found. We don't know what the situation is, obviously. So we're hoping against hope still that he will be found safe and well, that he's just either, I don't know, been taken somewhere, and maybe he can't say who he is and what's wrong with him. Maybe he's in a hospital, maybe he's there somewhere, but he unfortunately, he went missing on Monday morning. We are now on Friday morning. So I have to be honest and say I am really worried for this young man now. Because if he is out in the elements in Tenerife, which is part of Spain, but we're going to have a look where it is in a minute. It's nearer Africa. It's not really anywhere near mainland Spain. You know, it's very hot. It'd be like desert heat. In the place where he is. We're going to have a look at the place where he was last seen. So I am really, really worried about this boy, I have to be honest, because you know, when I first started covering that on Tuesday, I was very hopeful that he literally would, you know, a young, fit lad, he would be found safe and well. But of course, every day that passes that he's not found, it does get more and more worrying, doesn't it? Anyway, I'm going to start off by lighting the candle. If you watch my name's Vicky, by the way. Anyone may be new watching my channel, but I cover true crime, but I also cover any story that I think that either I or my chatters may find interesting. You know, we cover all sorts of topics. And when we start off with a case or a story or whatever you want to call it, we stick with it till it's resolved. So I will be continuing with Jay's story until it is resolved one way or another. So I'm lighting a candle for Jay. Please let him be brought back to his family, because of course his family is flown out there. His family are from the UK. They've flown out to Tenerife, and his mother will be beside herself with worry. Anyway, there's a lot to this story because, you know, anyway, I'm going to tell you all about it. But let's just start off looking at where Jay comes from. Well, let me just say hello to everybody first. Hi, Daniel. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Mara. I know you just can't leave that I'm like that. I'm on the Facebook. Well, I only go on the official Facebook group because, of course, there's loads of Facebook groups have popped up now, and they do talk a load of rubbish, a lot of them. Hi, Maria. 6 p.m. in Melbourne, and it's freezing. It's boiling here. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Frigaria. Hi, Paul. Hi, Julie. So, and hi to everyone. And I can see there's a lot more of you watching at home. Sometimes people don't want to join in the chat. That's fine. Thank you for being here. And let me just, let me just say my thanks so then I can take the banner off. Thank you to everyone who watches my videos. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thank you especially to my members. And thank you to anyone who supports my channel in any way, be it sending a positive message, a nice email, people buy me a Ko-fi or they send super stickers. I appreciate all the support of my channel. That's what helps me continue and hopefully bring you interesting content. And in cases like this with Jay, raise awareness of this. So, I meant to share this to my Spanish channel as well. I'll put it on there after. You know, I am in a bit of a unique position here because I live in Spain and I speak Spanish. I understand the way the Spanish police work. I know, you know, there's been a bit of xenophobia as there already is, saying, you know, people think the British police would make a better job because the Spanish police have not found him yet. But believe me, no one's more efficient than the Spanish police. And you only have to look at recent cases we've followed over in Lancashire, where Jay is from. You know, took them quite a long time to find Nicola Bulley, didn't? Well, they didn't really find Nicola Bulley. Thing is, search operations are difficult. It's not just, you know, it's not as easy as you think it is, especially in conditions like they'll be here in Spain, in Tenerife, very hot. Anyway, let's have a look at where Jay himself comes from. So Jay is 19 years old. And he is from Oswald Twistle in Great Britain. Gosh, get your mouth around that. Oswald Twistle, which is a town in England. So we can see where it is here on the map. Here's Blackpool. Even people from other countries will know a lot about the geography of the north of the UK now because of the Nicola Bulley case. I think probably a lot of people in other countries maybe had never heard of Lancashire or even Blackpool, or I mean, probably heard of Manchester. Manchester is where I'm from. That's where I'm from. That's where I was born. I am a Mancunian at heart. You know what they say, you can take the girl out of Manchester, but you cannot take Manchester out of the girl. And Oswald Twistle is around this area. Gosh, I've lost it now because I went out. Hang on. It's sort of in almost in the greater Manchester area. I think it's in where have I lost it now? It's not that way. That's the south. It's over here somewhere. Yeah, it's over near Preston somewhere. There it is. So this is Oswald Twistle. That's where Jay comes from. And of course, he went off on holiday to a music festival in Tenerife. So let me show you where he went. So I just want to show you, this is Tenerife, or Tenerife, as we call it in Spain. It's one of the Canary Islands. It's miles away from Spain. It's near the Western Sahara. Now, a lot of you out there, especially British people, will know Tenerife because it's a very popular holiday destination for Brits, especially for music festivals, DJs, trance, rave music, all that kind of thing. All very popular. Tenerife and Los Americanos, I think it's called, the popular popular destination for tourists. Now, Jay was there for the music festival, a big music festival. And I just want to show you where Spain is. So, because where I am, I'm up here in the south of Spain. So it's quite away from Spain. Do you see what I'm saying? The climate there is different from the Spanish climate. I mean, it's very hot here today, but as far as I know, it's even hotter there. So although it's counted as Spain, people speak Spanish, it's part of the Spanish country, you know, the country of Spain. It is actually miles away from Spain. And the Canaries, they have a different time zone to us. So they're an hour behind. So they have the same time zone as the UK. So where it's 10:18 here in Spain, in the Canaries, it'll be 9:18. So it'll have been light for quite a while now. So I'm presuming, I hope, that the search has already recommenced. I presume it stopped at night time. So that's where Jay was going for this music festival. And specifically where he's gone missing, hang on, is this Masca. Yeah, this is where he's gone missing. That's where his last phone pin came from. And this is a big Masca Valley is a big sort of hiking area, natural park, whatever. But there is a road that goes through. It's not completely remote because a lot of people go hiking there. You know, this is what I don't understand really. I don't understand why he hasn't been found yet, because you can see apparently he was seen on this road. Oh, his phone pin was on this road. Now, if he stuck to the road, you know, surely somebody would have seen him. So you can only presume, did he go off the road? You know, did he go off the road? And there are some bars and restaurants in this area. So, you know, did he go off the road? Has he tripped up, fallen over? Did he just sit down out of exhaustion? You know, this is what we're waiting for, is for the police to find him. They've got dogs out there. But I am surprised they haven't found him so far, because it's not so big. It's a very complex terrain, though. I'm going to show you the where he's gone missing. So that's Tenerife, the area where he's gone missing. Now, there is a 24-hour webcam on this area, and we're going to have a look at that. Just let me make... Hi, Carla. Hi, Susan. Now, the reason, yeah, exactly, Julie. The thing is, people shouldn't underestimate the Spanish police. You know, they are good, and but they do it all behind the scenes. They're not open with what they do. You know, like they are in America, for example. They're just not. So it's just one of those things. And the other thing we have to remember, in Tenerife and the Canary Islands, it's very windy. You know, and that, I know that you'd think that could sort of help, but it doesn't, because it's like a desert wind. It's a Sahara wind, and it burns you. You get, God, the sunburn you will get when it's a windy day is a lot more than you'll get when it's not a windy day. So it doesn't always help, you know. Doesn't always help, the wind. So yeah, I think it'd be very, very harsh conditions there. So I am really worried for him, but you just hope that maybe he's been taken to a hospital somewhere at someone's house, or this, to me now, this is more or less the only thing I think that we could, or the best thing that we can hope for. Now we saw that it took quite a few days to find Michael Mosley in Greece, even though he was very close to sort of a bar restaurant, because it just, you know, he was hidden from sight, wasn't he? He was only found by accident by someone on a boat who just spotted him. It's not so easy to spot people as you think. And in Greece, it was completely barren landscape. You know, there was nothing there to hide under. Whereas I do think on this, we'll have a look in a minute, there are places where he may have taken shade. But the trouble is he may have taken shade and then he may have been overcome. So, you know, but they are using drones, helicopters, etc. So, you know, let's just hope. We can only hope, can't we, and send our prayers out to him and his family, especially his mum, who must be absolutely distraught. Okay, let's have a look at this place then. So this is the live webcam of this Masca Valley, and it's just, look, there's 3,597 people online, probably most of them due to this case. So it's daylight now. I was looking at it this morning. It is interesting because obviously you're not going to just see Jay walk past or whatever, but it's interesting because to see how the weather, you know, I watched the sun come up there this morning. You can see this road here. You know, so although it is a desolate landscape in some ways, there is a road.
In the overall ranking, the top three are the UK, Sweden, and Slovakia.
Okay. So, I mean, it's not very exciting, but you can see there's some houses here. You know, I don't know where this actual picture is in relation to where Jay actually went missing. Look, there's cars going past, cars going along this road. There's probably only one road, or that, you know, this is maybe well be the same road. There's some houses and things. There's probably some bars, restaurants. But where is he? You know, it's very, very worrying, you know, and confusing. Where is he? And like you say, Maggie, why would he go off the road? I mean, you know, he may only be 19, and I know 19-year-olds are a bit daft sometimes. But I think, you know, he's not that daft that he doesn't know to stay on the road if he's going to be looking for water or help or hoping for someone to pick him up. Makes you wonder, did somebody pick him up? Did somebody pick him up? You know, we just don't know, do we? So I think we can be satisfied that he was there because they've got the phone ping. Look, you can see the wind. I don't know if you can see, but this palm tree here, it's blowing in the wind. It's windy. And although that'd be quite nice in the morning the breeze will be quite nice. But as the sun comes up, that wind will be hot. There's quite a lot of cars going past there, isn't there? Lots of cars. So, yeah. So why has nobody seen him? It's very mysterious. Very, very mysterious. But we can see the cars going past. We can see the palm tree blowing in the wind. You know, why has he not been seen? Anyway. So I'm going to keep putting that. I will put that on every now and again. I've got some other things that I want to show you. Now, of course, there's been a big, then there was a big thing that, because Jay, he's not an innocent boy, let's say. Jay, not long ago, was found guilty of attacking another young boy along with a group of boys. with machetes, with a machete and an axe, and he was given community service, etc. So, you know, a lot of people are saying about that, is this some sort of, you know, has something happened to him as like a kickback from that? But apparently, again, the thing is, on social media, you've got to take everything you hear with a pinch of salt. It is a fact that he was found guilty of this offence with the other group of young lads. That is a fact. But apparently, what the young lad that was attacked has come onto, I'm going to just swap the sharing over to this. The guy that was attacked, Tom Hilton, supposedly this is him who's come on Twitter and said, whoever's writing on these TikToks, give it a rest. This young lad's missing and his family's heartbroken. Put yourselves in their shoes. Stop talking nonsense on socials and get this lad found. Mentioning my name, all this and that. Have some respect and help us find this boy and get him back to his family. Now, I would say I agree with that, because it doesn't really matter what Jay did when he was 16. That's something, you know, he's gone to court for. It's awful what he did. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it's terrible what he did. But he did it. He's been to court for it. He's got his sentence for it. And that doesn't affect what's happening now. Is there is a 19-year-old boy, could be my son, could be your son, could be your brother, could be you. I don't know who's watching this video. And whatever he's done in the past, I just want him to be found for his mum. You know, so after that, you can talk about whether he, once he's found safe and that, you can decide whether you like him or you don't like him, or you think is this, that, or the other. But at the moment, all that counts is a 19-year-old boy that's gone missing in very harsh surroundings, and what has happened to him. And there's a heartbroken mother out there wanting to know what has happened to her youngest son. So as far as I'm concerned, that's all that matters to me. All this issue of what maybe he did, or, well, it seems like he did do it because he was found guilty when he was 16. That's not for me to judge. It's not for me to judge. So I just wanted to mention that. Let's go back to the... So the only problem is every time I go back to the live cam, starts buffering, and then we have to have another advert probably. But I'll just leave that on in the background for now while I look for the next thing. Okay, where are we? So every now and again, I keep sort of going on to the Facebook group, see if they. But you know, I don't know where the first news will come from. If Jay is found today, for example, I would imagine the first news will come through the Guardia Civil. Well, they will let the family know first, but you know, obviously whoever finds him will have the first news, and then they will tell the family, and then the family. Let me just put this back on, because I've just got to go and do something a sec, won't you, sir? I'm going to put this back on so you can look at this and have a chat. I mean, there's not much happens on there, but just have a look at the area. Somebody said on there, I think it was Kelly, it's beautiful, but it's also, you wouldn't want to be wandering, would you? You want one thing driving through it and taking in those beautiful views, but it's quite another being walking through. You can't, you know, this is what's worrying me. We went missing on Monday morning, we're now on Friday morning. He can't still be walking around there. You know, he's either been taken away from there, or he's, you know, incapacitated. He cannot still be walking after 5 days with no water. Right, it'll just be 2 ticks. Okay, sorry about that. I'd sort the dogs out, get some water, and just put another fan on because it is so hot. You know, and I'm indoors with fans on. You know, it's the exposure to the elements out there that's worrying, isn't it? Anyway, let me just come back to the chat, make sure I haven't missed anybody. Hi, Kelly. Oh, the little bird died, I'm afraid. Yeah, the little bird died. Bless it. It was fine 1 minute, and then it just, you know, it just went downhill rapidly. So we had to have a little funeral for it and that. But yeah, it died. But anyway, at least it died. It was all comfortable, and you know, it wasn't ripped to shreds by a cat or anything like that. But unfortunately, very sadly, it died. Hi, Rini. Yeah, now to see you. See, this is the trouble with Facebook groups. Everyone's chatting about his friend, and she said this and she said that. The thing is, they will know for certain that he was there because it's his phone pinged. You know, his phone pinged, so he was there, and they will have. I suppose they've only got her word for what he said, but I can't take any of that on board until it's confirmed. It's true, something could have happened to him untoward. Anyway, we're going to look at that where he went to, and something about that. But I don't really like gossip. I don't like gossip for these things because it's not helpful. Personally, I don't think it's helpful. At the end of the day, all that matters is where is this boy. Okay, so let's have a look at some articles. Now they have. Okay, let's have anyway. I'm not getting into gossip. I'm not getting into gossip. So this is something from the Manchester Evening News. Of course, now this is really gaining traction, this story. We've been following it straight from Monday. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. But now, of course, even Sky News are talking about it. Good Morning Britain's talking about it. Everyone. It's gained traction. And even, as I say, some of my subscribers from all over the world are getting involved in this case now, are getting engaged in this case. Everyone wants to know where this young boy is and wants to know that he's okay and that his mum will be put out of her misery because, quite frankly, she will be in absolute misery, won't she? So, a Tenerife local, this is the Manchester Evening News, a Tenerife local has shed new light on the two British men Jay Slater parted with prior to his disappearance. Because supposedly what Jay did, he was at this three-day music festival with his friend Lucy, and he went off with these two men, as young people do. So, of course, we've probably only got Lucy's word for it. I don't know, unless they've tracked his phone. So don't forget, his phone was still on then. So the police must have tracked whatever we've thought of, the police will have thought of. They're not Keystone cops, the police in Spain. They're modern police force, a very good police force, actually, and especially the Policía Nacional. Now, there's three police forces in Spain. There's a Policía Local that deals with exactly that, more local issues, neighbours disputes, things of that nature. Then you've got the more serious police, the Guardia Civil. Now, they're the ones at the moment that are dealing with this case because this is a missing person. Don't forget, there's no foul play as far as we know at the moment suspected. Now, if it does turn into an investigation as opposed to just looking a search for a missing person, then the Policía Nacional will take over, and they're like Spain's equivalent of the FBI. They're the people that have been dealing with the Anna Knežević case, that have, successfully managed to arrest David Knežević, and they're putting together the case against him. They just need to find Anna's body now. So, Jay is in good hands. The Guardia Civil will be doing everything they can to find Jay. They'll want Jay found. The whole island will want Jay found. It's a tourist island. They won't want any bad publicity. They'll be doing everything they can to find Jay. So, Lucy made some comments. I don't know if it's in here, about the British police should get involved. The British police are not going to get involved, because first of all, this is Spain. So obviously Spain are going to deal with it. Would you expect the Spanish police to get involved in a case in the UK? No. So that's not going to happen for that reason. But also, there's no reason to think the British police would be, especially the Lancashire police, who haven't got the best reputation. There's nothing to say that they deal with it any better. And I just find it quite ironic, when someone saying, "Oh, we need to get the British police over," because people who are quite down on the police most of the time, but when they need help, it's the police that they want to help them. Need to think about that. Is that you shouldn't do too much police bashing, because if you're in a problem, if you have a problem, it's the police will be the first people that you'll turn to. So, a Tenerife local has shed new light on the two British men Jay Slater parted with prior to his disappearance. He appeared to have been trying to walk back to the south of the island when he phoned his friend Lucy May Law on Monday morning, saying his battery was at just 1%. Police have since been searching a rural mountainous area in the northwest of Tenerife where he was last located, near to the village of Masca. Now light has been shed on the two men he was with on the Sunday night as pictures emerge of the rental property Casa Abuela Tina he had been reportedly at. And that means Grandma Tina. So the house of Grandma Tina. Casa Abuela Tina, the house of Grandma Tina. A woman named only as Araceli, that's a Spanish name, who works in the business adjoining the rental property, said, "I never saw the missing boy, but I know people saw him walking on his own. I saw the two British men who stayed there. They came in for a café con leche, that's a coffee with milk, a couple of times. One was aged about 40, the other one was slightly younger," she added. "The police have spoken to them both." So, that was another rumour that was going around, that these two men that Jay had gone off with, they've gone back to the UK and they can't be found. The police have spoken to them. I think we need to calm down. The police will have done everything they should have done. They've spoken to these men, and we don't know what these men said. They're not going to tell us that. But, we've got to, calm down and not think that the police aren't doing anything just because they haven't found him yet. So they arrived on Saturday and were due to stay till Monday, but they left on Tuesday. And so they stayed over one day extra by the sound of it. Asked if they had to stay to be interviewed by the police, she said, "I don't know." Thing is, so these men are known. So even if they've gone back to Britain now after they've been interviewed, you think that the police can't, the police don't work together like the if it turns out that there is something suspicious and the Spanish police want to speak to these men, they'll get to speak to them. Doesn't matter whether they've gone back to the UK or not. As long as they know who they are and where they live, they'll be able to contact them. If they let them go, they must be satisfied with whatever they had to say. I personally think Jaya has wandered off the track for whatever reason. I don't know. He's got lost. So he's been picked up by somebody, or maybe he's in a hospital. You know, I don't think there's any foul play here, but you know what? I've been wrong before. I could be wrong this time. So this is the Casa Abuelatina, where he was last seen before his disappearance. And so for some unknown reason, he decided he was going to go home without hardly any battery on his phone, not much water, but he thought he was going to catch a bus, didn't he? Apparently. Again, that's not been confirmed by the authorities. In a minute, I'll have a look at the Spanish news, because sometimes they, you know, the Guardia Civil, the police, do put statements out on there. So the property is listed online as a holiday home and is understood to have been rented by the two men Jay was with the night of his disappearance. It's understood they checked out yesterday before flying back to Britain, and Jay posted a photo of himself holding a cigarette on the steps shortly before he going missing. But it doesn't seem like he was there under duress then, does it? You know, if he posted a photo of himself on the steps, so yeah, it's just I think this is like a misadventure thing. You know, he's anyway. We'll find out. We'll find out today. I hope today's the day that Jay's found one way or another, because this is just torture for his mum, isn't it? What's this? Let's have a look. So the Manchester Evening News is a good source of information because, of course, Jay is from the Manchester area or not far from Manchester. Police search missing Jay Slater's Tenerife apartment for clues after his mum was sent terrifying message on Snapchat. Yeah, unfortunately. So his mum, his poor mum, is getting all these messages from people claiming to have kidnapped him, this, that, and the other. Now, I suppose it's always possible that it might be true, but you know, that remains to be seen. Unfortunately, you do get idiots who will do things like that. So officers have searched the room he was sharing with a friend at 3-star apartment complex in Los Cristianos. Not sure why is all that black. Oh, what happened there? Well, that was it. That was it for that news. The other thing I want to read out is this article. Says he was reluctant to. So missing Jay Slater was reluctant to go to Tenerife before his disappearance, stepdad says. Oh, there you go. It's Amy Fenton. We remember Amy Fenton from the Nicola Bully case, don't we? Yeah, I remember her. Anyway, missing Jay Slater's stepdad has revealed he had to be talked into going to Tenerife by his pals. The apprentice bricklayer was reported missing on Monday. So it seems like he was, you know, he was an apprentice bricklayer. He was turning his life around. He had an unfortunate, very unfortunate thing that he did when he was 16. He was lucky. All those boys that attacked that other boy, they were lucky that boy did not die, because then they would have been looking at murder charges. So they've been given a second chance in life. You know, they did what they did, and obviously it was wrong what they did. They've been given a second chance. And he was an apprentice bricklayer, so we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He was trying to make something of his life, hopefully. Is that going to be it? So is there not going to be any more than that? No. So the whole family's there, but that's it. That's it for that article. You know, they put an article out there and you think, oh, there's going to be a lot to it. And it's just to say that his stepdad said he was reluctant to go and he had to be talked into going. What does that mean? You know, what? So could have been for any reason. Could have been he couldn't really afford it. Could have been he doesn't really like the heat. Could have been a lot of reasons why he had to be talked into going. That's a bit of a non-story, isn't it, at the end of the day? Anyway, So we'll come off that one. Let's look at another one. Oh, so they've had like a vigil or a community rally at his local church where he comes from. So I think we'll have a look at that next. That's positive, isn't it? So the community rally at the church, as his friends describe him as the life and soul of the party. British teenager Jay Slater had been on holiday in Tenerife but has been missing since Monday. It's too long that, I'm sorry, I hate to feel a bit negative, but from Monday to Friday, if that's where he is, out in that area, it's too long. After telling a friend he would be setting off on an 11-hour walk to get home. So, at a service of hope held on Thursday, members of his local village wore blue ribbons and left messages to him. So there he is with his poor, long-suffering mum. Looks so much like his mum, doesn't he? They've got the same eyes. Now, she'll have been through hell with the court case and everything, and now she's going through hell again. Honestly, I think the day you made a mother, you become a mother. You never get days peace ever again, do you? Right, I'm just going to come back to the chat, make sure I haven't missed him. No, Heather is from Oswald Twistle. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Heather, of course. No, they are the same police, Carla, in the Canaries. The Canaries is Spain. It's the Guardia Civil that are looking for him. I've been on their website and looked at the Guardia Civil. They're not exactly left over from Franco's rule, but yet during Franco's rule, the Guardia Civil would have been the ones that went out and shot people if they did anything wrong. So that's true, but not now. We're in 2024 now, and the Guardia Civil is modernized, and they're sort of, you've got the Policía Local are the most serious police. As I say, they're a bit like the FBI that you might think of. And you've got the Guardia Civil, and they deal with like these sort of things. They do sometimes deal with murders and things, but not so much investigations. So like first on the scene, if there's an investigation, that'll be the Policía Nacional, and the Policía Nacional deal with drugs trafficking and people trafficking, and they deal with international cases, like where they have to deal with other countries as well. That's the Policía Nacional that would do that. And the Policía Local are just a more sort of community police, I suppose. So, yeah, the Guardia Civil are the police all over Spain. Doesn't matter if the Canaries is Spain. It's part of Spain. So, it's the same police everywhere. Okay, where was that? Oh, so, yeah, I was reading about the church service. So as the search continues for Jay Slater, members of the local community rallied at a church event as his friends hoped for the return of the British team they described as the life and soul of the party. So the 19-year-old from Oswald Twistle near Blackburn in Lancashire was on holiday in Tenerife with friends when he went missing on Monday. And then it's just going to go through the same story. At a church in his hometown, locals used blue ribbons. You see, it's a bit funny, this, really, because they said there's only one blue ribbon that I can see. Oh, no, she's got one on as well. So blue ribbons. So if you want to show, I think we'll go with blue hearts for Jay. So when we show sort of love for Jay and, hopes that he gets found quickly, it's blue hearts I think we need to go with, because blue seems to be the colour that's been adopted for finding Jay. So they used blue ribbons to mark a service of hope as they left messages to the missing team. So yeah, they've been filling. Oh look, they've got the ribbons there. So you can see you've got the dark blue ribbons and the paler blue ribbons, or the more aqua colour. They could leave messages of hope and condolences. Condolences, not yet. No, sorry, not condolences. Only messages of hope at the moment. Members of the local community left messages. You know, people like to get together, don't they? You know, and especially in these communities. When something like this happens, probably most of the people there, if not all of them, same as us. We don't know Jay. We don't know Jay's mum. Don't know any of Jay's family, or I certainly don't. But I think we all feel that empathy because, you know, a young boy going missing after, you know, being at a rave all weekend or whatever, we can resonate with that, if not for us when we were young. For our children or even our grandchildren, our cousins, nephews, you know, is something that everyone can resonate with, and people like to get together. That's why you're all here on this chat talking about it. We like to get together. We like to, you know, you could just sort of watch the news and have your own opinions, but it's good to be able to talk to other people about it. That's what the human race has done since time immemorial, isn't it? You know, and now thanks to the internet, we can do that even in you know, with people from all over the world. It's amazing, really, when you think about it, because at one time you would have only been able to do it in your local community. You would have only known what was going on in your local community. Probably that, and in fact, in this case, that community probably wouldn't even know that Jay was missing over in Tenerife. You know, the internet has changed everything. And people will get together one way or another, either through the internet, Facebook, YouTube, or if they're actually living nearby in that community, go there because that's what people want to do. We saw it with Samantha Murphy case, all the people that went to help search. People want to be useful as well. I think that's also something. They want to feel that they're doing something useful, don't they? So two friends speaking to Sky News also shared stories of the teen they hoped that would be found. One friend of Mr. Slater's said, "We've known him a long time. We're always out with him. He's the life and soul of the party. Everywhere you see him, he's just constantly got a smile on his face. He's just a happy chap." He's probably a very typical 19-year-old. I mean, I know he did that awful thing with those friends that he got involved with. But you know what? He was 16 years old. The guy who did it to has forgiven him. So I think it's not for us not to forgive him, if you like. Okay, let's look at what the BBC's got to say about it. I'll just put some windows down. Okay, so this is the BBC, what they're saying about it. You can get adverts on the BBC now.
That's a police helicopter. It's one of the ways that the search for Jay is going on. There are search and rescue dogs down there. There are mountain rescue teams, and there are police teams as well, all searching this particular area. It's a very mountainous, rugged area. It's completely deserted and it's very cold at night. But this is where the search is being focused and has been for the last couple of
Yeah, so as I was saying, it's very cold at night, so it'll be very hot in the day, very cold at night. Now he's saying it's deserted, but there are hikers. There are hikers, so it will be quite deserted, but there will be people, and there is a road going through it. Let me just put that back to the beginning.
That's a police helicopter. It's one of the ways that the search for Jay is going on. There are search and rescue dogs down there. There are mountain rescue teams, and there are police teams as well, all searching this particular area. It's a very mountainous, rugged area. It's completely deserted and it's very cold at night. But this is where the search is being focused and has been for the last couple of days. Now, why was Jay here? That is the big question. He'd been down at a music festival overnight on Sunday, and when he came up here with two friends, he spent the night here before leaving, and then phoning one of his friends. He said, "I'm lost. I don't know how to get home."
Well, we could see there. It's a very. See, if you look at the side of the road there, let me just see that again. I don't see. Oh, yeah. Let me make that bigger. So, see, if he was on this road, apparently, according to the last ping. Now, what if he went over? Do you think he went? If he went over the wall, why would he wouldn't have gone down there, would he? Surely. But do you just think that if he did, when are they going to find him? How are they going to find him? They can't search all these bushes. I know they've got police dogs, so hopefully, I presume that, they know what they're doing more than I do. There's mountain rescue there. Everyone's there. All their resources are there to try and find Jay. So, gosh, he may have gone off the road to try and find some shelter. So let's think. So it went missing at 8. So 8 o'clock apparently was when his phone went dead, and he said he only had a little bit of water. So let's presume he carried on walking. Surely he would have been able to walk for quite a bit longer, but we don't know how long he'd been walking up to that point, do we? Had he been walking all night already? Gosh, it is a bit like looking for a needle in a haystack, isn't it? Did he go over the wall to be safe from cars? But no, I don't think he would have done that. He would have wanted to see a car to flag down, wouldn't he? Surely he would have flagged down a car. If he saw one, he wouldn't have let it go past. Or did he go over there, to relieve himself or whatever, and maybe trip up? So many different possibilities.
Before leaving and then phoning one of his friends, he said, "I'm lost. I don't know how to get home. I think I'm going to walk." But that walk would have taken him 10 hours. He was dressed in t-shirt and shorts and a pair of trainers. Not the right gear to be wearing to be around this area in these type of conditions. And after that, nobody knows what's happened to him. That's why this police search is going on.
These people, this is the Bomberos.
Going on, and that's why this police search is going on for conditions. And after that,
these are. Oh, I was trying to stop it then for a minute. So these are the Bomberos. This is the fire brigade, the fire department. Bomberos is the fire department. So they're helping as well. You just see how vast it is. Oh my God. Oh, please God, let that boy be found.
And after that, nobody knows what's happened to him. That's why this police search is going on, and that's why this particular area is of most concern.
Oh, this is his friend speaking, so let's watch this. I think this is Lucy.
Ahora en Día el papel higiénico húmedo Día la llama con un 33% de descuento por solo €1 en tiendas y en día.es.
If you look around, you can literally see it's not safe for anybody to have been here without any of the supplies that you need. He's not got any hiking stuff. He's not got any sun cream. Like, he's not got his phone. He's in severe danger. And I just feel like I've been up here every single day since.
So this is Lucy's friend that he was there with.
That it's happened. I've been walking around trying to find him, like literally doing everything that I possibly can. And in the full time I've been up here, I haven't seen one helicopter, which I feel like is very, very important because.
Well, they have had helicopters there, Lucy, I'm afraid. So they.
The helicopters will be able to see things like, yes, they've had drones up here. Yes, they have had dogs. However, they haven't actually had a scent from anything of Jay's. So I know that the dogs will be able to sniff out any humans, but obviously there's humans down there looking for Jay, and I think that could be misleading for them. Like, I feel like they definitely need
to. I'm not going to comment on what she's saying here, but you have to let the authorities do their job because unfortunately you don't know everything. I'm going to put that back to the beginning.
If you look around, you can literally see it's not safe for anybody to have been here without any of the supplies that you need. He's not got any hiking stuff. He's not got any sun cream. Like, he's not got his phone. He's in severe danger. And I just feel like I've been up here every single day since that it's happened. I've been walking around trying to find him, like literally doing everything that I possibly can. And in the full time I've been up here, I haven't seen one helicopter, which I feel like is very, very important because the helicopters will be able to see things like, yes, they've had drones up here. Yes, they have had dogs. However, they haven't actually had a scent from anything of Jay's. So I know that the dogs will be able to sniff out any humans, but obviously there's humans down there looking for Jay, and I think that could be misleading for them. Like, I feel like they definitely need to get a scent from Jay. Like, with the time I've spoke to them, I've said you need to get a scent, like, and they've like sort of disregarded that.
So there you go. Let's see the next video as well. Yeah, I'm not sure why she's not showing her face.
Ahora en día el melón piel de sapo con un 33% de descuento por solo 0,99 el kilo en tiendas y en día.es.
That's a police helicopter. It's one of the...
I thought she said there were no helicopters. That he saw a helicopter just that day he was there. So it's not, you know, I think she needs to be careful criticising the police because Jay's mum said the police, you know, everyone had done whatever they can to help. So I'm not sure, one, why she's saying that and alienating the police. She doesn't know for certain whether they've taken any of Jay's clothing and looked for a scent. How does she know? And also, yeah, why is she not showing her face? Probably she doesn't want to be bugged on social media and stuff. Also, I could say she's not crying.
Ways that the search for Jay is going on. There are search and rescue dogs down there. There are mountain rescue teams, and there are police teams as well, all searching this particular area. It's a very mountainous, rugged area. It's completely deserted and it's very cold at night. But this is
a helicopter right there,
being focused and has been for the last couple of days. Now, why was Jay here? That is the big question. He'd been down at a music festival overnight on Sunday, and when he came up here with two friends, he spent the night here before leaving, and then phoning one of his friends. He said, "I'm lost, I don't know how to get home. I think I'm going to walk." But that walk would have taken him 10 hours. He was dressed in t-shirt and shorts and a pair of trainers. Not the right gear to be wearing to be around this area in these type of conditions. And after that, nobody knows what's happened to him. That's why this police search is going on, and that's why this particular area is of most concern.
Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to show you that from the BBC. Just give you a little mixture of all of what the different people are saying, you know, the different mainstream medias are saying. In a minute, I'm just gonna put that. Let me just. I'm gonna put the webcam back on just while I look for the Spanish news. So I'm gonna have a look what the Spanish news are saying. Just need to refresh it. So
try the AWS free tier to build and host your web and mobile apps. Access a wide range of hosting options for your work in the cloud and your business needs. Get started for free.
So this is, remember, this is what we started off on, the live webcam. So you can see, so what time, look, it'd be 10:07 there. It's 11:07 here on mainland Spain. It'll be 10:07 there, same time as it is in the UK. Now, that palm tree doesn't look as if it's blowing as much as it was earlier. So maybe the wind's dropped a little bit. You know, it'd be difficult searching as well because it'd be bad conditions for the searchers, just like we saw with Michael Mosley in Greece. You know, the dogs burnt their feet, didn't they, because it was so hot. I don't think it'd be quite as hot here. It's probably about 30 degrees as opposed to 40 odd degrees, but anyway. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find any different news. I looked at the Spanish news this morning. I couldn't find anything new, but may have changed. All right, so this is an hour ago. This is Lecturas, one of the online publications. So, latest news over the disappearance of Jay Slater in Tenerife, the complaint of his friends to the Guardia Civil. So, his friends have showed discomfort with the search that the Guardia Civil is undertaking. There's the Guardia Civil. So the search continues for the young boy or the young man. Jay Slater disappeared since Monday in Tenerife. Jay was traveling. I'll always go through the whole story. Won't go through the whole story again. But he was traveling to attend the music festival New Rave Generation, NRG. So then it goes on to say what his friends said, that he had finished up in the house of other people, that he had met at the festival, and this house was far from the area where they were staying. And it seems that he had to catch a bus to return from Buena Vista del Norte to return to the south of the island, but he missed it. He missed the bus. The last news they received was that he was, walking with a little battery in his phone and that he was very thirsty. Now, that was a phone call, was it? So that was a phone call, not a message. So even if they find, so the police will have checked that out, that phone call was made, I would imagine. But of course, anyone could have made that phone call with his mobile. If it's not, there's no proof it was Jay who made that phone call. Now, I'm just playing a bit of devil's advocate here. It's possible, isn't it, that they could have just gone to that spot, made the phone call to Lucy. I'm not saying it was Lucy, it could have been anyone. Made a phone call to Lucy, but Lucy is saying she spoke to him. So then 5 days have passed and there's still no trace of him. His friends and family are very worried and they are living in a nightmare, say that they're living a nightmare. Although the rescue teams of the Guardia Civil, along with other organisations, have worked since that moment, since the moment they were alerted, his friends and family have expressed discomfort or reservations about the search for the young person. Lucy May Law, friend of Jay and the last person that spoke to him, said in the Mirror, that British police were needed. Sorry, just ridiculous thing to say. Things don't look good. We feel that it depends on us to find him, and we are doing more than the police, according to Lucy. Not a good thing to say, Lucy, I'm afraid. She explained in her maternal language to the media. That won't go down well in Spain either. God, I don't know. So since the young British man disappeared on the island, his friends have stayed there to help with the search. Also, 9 more friends of Jay will fly to Tenerife to help as they can. The thing is, I know it's good that people are helping. Of course it is. And you always think more people helping, the better. But, that can complicate things for the police as well, because they've got to worry now about these other people. So I hope they're taking precautions. I hope they're not just going out with hardly any water or battery and trying to search for Jay. I hope they're being careful too. Because the last thing we need is for the police to have to go out and rescue one of them as well. The other thing is there was a false sighting of Jay on Wednesday, and the Guardia had to go off to Los Americanos and investigate that, where somebody claimed that they had seen Jay in a taxi in Los Americanos. And so the police, the Guardia have to look, they have to explore every avenue, don't they? They have to follow up every lead. That would have taken resources away from this search. They had to go to Los Americanos, track down this boy that was seen in a taxi. Turns out it was a 19-year-old British boy, but it was not Jay. So then they had to go back to square one to the searches of this area. So what I would say to anyone who is watching, you know, that's the problem with these Facebook groups as well. Sometimes people just put on all sorts of things, and sometimes if it's a genuine lead, if you like, or, you know, go to the police, don't put it on the Facebook group. If you've got something that you think will genuinely help find Jay, the people speak to are the police. You know, there'll be someone who can speak to you in English. You ring 112, you know, and they'd put you in touch with somebody, or go to, if you're in Spain, you know, go to your local police station, and just, if you're in Tenerife, you can help. I do think there's going to be a problem here with this sort of expat community. They're doing one thing, the police are doing their thing, and then all the expats are just doing their own thing. And they can't do that. You can't do that. You know, if we had someone went missing in the UK, and then all that particular community, be it the Muslim community or the Indian community, or, you know, the Spanish community, just went off doing their own thing, I don't think the police would be very happy. I mean, you have to give them a chance. You know, they do know what they're doing. Having said that, I do understand how frustrating it must be. You'd want to be there. You'd want to be there helping. And I do understand that as well. So it's very difficult to strike a balance. But all these sort of false sightings and false, you know, there was another one the other night. God, I fell for it, because I was looking at it and thinking, oh my God, that does look like him. Maybe it's him. You know, it wasn't him. And of course, then you think, well, yeah, why would he be walking down the street where there's lots of people and bars and restaurants and not asking anyone for help? So I do think the answer to this is in this area. I just hope it has a good resolution. So 9 more friends of Jay will fly to Tenerife to help in what they can. Also, his brother Jack, his mother Debbie, and their father Warren have already flown from England to the island to be nearer to the search. And that's it. So, yeah, you would want to be there nearby, but I don't know about actually going out and searching. Can be dangerous. So the friends as well of the family are collaborating with the police to find him as soon as possible. However, his friend Lucy of 18 years has assured that the police haven't even got a translator after various days. I feel that they are deceiving me, she said. Ooh. They are still maybe they suspect her. You know, and at the end of the day, they don't have to tell Lucy anything. Their responsibility is to Jay's family. They don't have to tell Lucy anything. It could be that they suspect her for all we know. I feel like they're deceiving me. They're still asking the same questions as when I first made my statement about Jay's disappearance. She indicated 2 days ago to the Mirror. I wonder if she got paid for that interview. Also, Apadido. Oh, she has asked the British police to get involved in this search for the young person. Okay, there you go. There's Lucy. Lucy's in control of everything. Right, I shouldn't be disparaging. Sorry, Lucy. I know you're probably upset about your friend, but, you know, you've got to take a bit of a reality check on this. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Ukraine, but we won't have any disrespect on here, please, because at the end of the day, this is a young boy who's missing. So no matter what he did, you don't want him to die, do you? Or do you? But I don't want any disrespect to Jay or his family on the chat. Thank you. Okay, so I will keep you posted. I think that's all I have for you today, or in this live. I'll be back if there's any news whatsoever, and I'll be back anyway later with like tonight with a live. God, I don't know. There's so many things to talk about in one way, you don't know. But I've definitely we're staying with this case of Jay until he's found one way or another. Till he's found one way or another, we'll stick with this case of Jay. And as I say, you know, just prayers that he's found safely. Whatever he's done, I'm sure he's not a saint. There's not many saints. Not many of us are saints, except me, of course. Joke. But still, he deserves to be found safe, just like anybody would. And his mother deserves for him to be found safe. So thank you for watching. Please put, please put out some prayers for Jay, and I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, as always, may your God go with you. Thank you.